So I'll pick up where we left off, our flight from Samburu to the Masai Mara. Imagine a flying jeepney stopping every 10 minutes to pick up and drop off passengers. The coolest part though is every time you land you see giraffes and elephants running alongside the plane.
We just landed in Masai Mara.
There were 2 four-wheel drives waiting for us at the airstrip, and that's when we met our guide for this leg of the trip.
Hi there, it's me again, Kasao.
Hello,
From the airstrip, it was about a 25-minute drive to camp, and the adventure began straight away. Okay, so we're 2 minutes into our first drive here in the Masai Mara, and we're stuck. And there are 2 humongous hippos 100 meters behind us.
Let's try.
So we just arrived at our camp in Masai Mara, and it is beautiful. It is in the middle of the Masai Mara Game Reserve, so everything is here. Right here there's a river, and during the day the hippos are in there bathing, but at night they come in here to the camp. So we're extremely close, and they've told us we need to be super careful. We cannot walk around on our own. We have Maasai guards to accompany us wherever we need to go. And so we just arrived, and before we get the room messy, I wanted to show you what our tent looks like. So welcome. As in Samburu, it is a tent, so we only use zips, which hopefully will keep the lions and the hippos away. The rooms were so comfy, it hardly felt like you were in a tent. I'll leave a link to their website for those of you who want to check them out. After a few minutes to freshen up, we set off on our first official game drive. And once again, we are stuck in the mud. Look at it everywhere!
Superhero!
This first drive was by far my favorite of the entire holiday. We got as close as safely possible to about 40 hippos, made friends with the resident flies, and were welcomed by a large herd of elephants with their babies. Elephants are one of the most intelligent animals in the world. They live within a very strong family unit, sticking together through thick and thin. They're highly social animals, and their loyalty to one another shows just how intelligent and how truly loving they are. Anyone that knows me knows that elephants are my most favorite animals in the world, and seeing them up close and in their natural habitat, surrounded by their family, was incredibly humbling, and it quickly skyrocketed to become one of my favorite experiences ever. Some of us hoped to see lions on the hunt. I'm glad we didn't, but we did see a pride of lions feasting on a water buffalo, the circle of life.
I'm here now, on the plains of the Masai Mara. I've been without water for probably about 45 minutes. The sun's going down soon. I think I should find some shelter.
Thank you very much.
The most incredible sunset. Amazing. And just like that, day 1 was over. We started day 2 bright and early in very high spirits.
It's cold this morning.
The cheetah dance.
Enough already.
This time hopefully some cheetah, because that's sunrise over the reserve was absolutely incredible, giving off a beautiful orange hue across the land. Straight away, we saw lionesses on the go with her cubs and other animals just enjoying the cool of the morning, something straight out of The Lion King. We spent the morning cruising around and found a very weird looking animal, some topi, more zebra, and then it was time for some taka. Brunch was set up in the middle of the bush, and what an experience. Breakfast was amazing, but the view and being able to get to know the Maasai warriors was what made it extra special. And that brings us back to our friends, the flies. Holy moly, if you visit the Masai Mara during the Great Migration, get yourself a hat with a net covering your face and thank me later. These guys were everywhere and there was no escaping them.
You just make sure that you keep the top so you don't get the fly inside.
Okay, so
See?
cheers.
Cheers.
The Serengeti Mara ecosystem is one of the largest protected areas in the world. It's where the great wildebeest migration takes place and is home to many incredible animals. Seeing a mass migration is one of the most spectacular events you will see in your life, minus the flies, of course. Even these guys are bothered by them. So that was our last game drive here in the Masai Mara. We saw everything we wanted to see except for rhinos. And we thought we were heading home to the camp, but the really kind guys from Mara Legends camp set up this beautiful sunset viewing party, farewell party. It's so nice. This trip was a wonderful opportunity to enjoy some family time, combined with an opportunity to see and learn about some of the world's most majestic animals in their natural habitat. I am truly grateful for moments like this, spent with my tribe under a beautiful full moon. The makings of a group photo.
Make sure that everybody's in.
Yes, now I see everybody wants.
Say cheese.
Good, good. That's one.
On our last night, the resident Maasai warriors were excited to share some stories about their culture. They even performed several native dances for us. This one is a welcome dance, but even without the dance, these guys were some of the most hospitable, most kind guys I have ever met. Next was a competitive number. The higher you jump, the more impressed the ladies will be. And this last dance is all about togetherness. They had us all come up and join them around the fire, and it was truly the most wonderful way to have spent our last night at camp.
It comes out when you move.
Yes, and we're lucky to stay with you.
Wow, thank you. You come back again. Very.
Giant fish.
We got up extra early on our last morning to tick off another safari bucket list, hot air ballooning over the Great Migration. It was the earliest we'd woken up this trip and it was freezing, but it was all worth it because we got to watch the sun come up as the balloons started floating up and into the sky. Our captain flew surprisingly low, which gave us the most incredible bird's eye view of the animals down below. We'd seen all the action from ground level, but you really cannot comprehend just how many wildebeest there are and how vast the land is until you see it from up here. After about half an hour, we landed in the middle of all the wildebeest, where a sumptuous champagne breakfast was waiting for us. Thank you!
Cheers!
After downing a few glasses of bubbly and reaching our photo quota, it was time to head to the airstrip and bid farewell to this amazing place. Elephant came to say bye. We left for Nairobi and the hunt was on to spot some rhino on our very last game drive at Nairobi Park. So we're up super early again today. We are heading to Nairobi Park to try and spot some rhinos. Here we go. And we were not disappointed. In the distance, we saw a mama rhino with her little baby, and we also made friends with Pumbaa while on a bathroom break. A couple things to check out in Nairobi are the Giraffe Park and Sheldrick's Wildlife Sanctuary, where they take care of orphaned baby elephants from around Africa. You get to learn about each baby elephant, how they ended up there, and while you're there, you can even choose to sponsor one too. Little Makoka, you will always have a special place in my heart.